Hello, everybody. This is Shantae with Brown Sugar Talks on Wellness Wednesday. So, anyway, today it's just all about. Man, I really want it to be about cheese with nutritional yeast. I gotta put the recipe online. It is so freaking good. So, what you do is you take like some cannellini. I think it's called cannellini. cannellini beans, and rinse them off, get all that juice off of them. And actually, I think with the juice you can make a meringue if you really wanted to, but you get all that juice off of them. And I put sweet potatoes in there, garlic, salt and pepper, olive oil, nutritional yeast, and milk. I use vanilla almond milk. So this is the thing. I do not measure anything. I just kind of put it in there. I just say don't put a lot of salt in there, Or you probably could use some of that bouillon cute seasoning. I put cumin in it one time, and the first time it wasn't good. But this stuff is so good. I don't know if it's because, it's a roasted sweet potato, by the way. Roasted sweet potato. It's so freaking addictive and vegan and all this different stuff. So anyway, yesterday I almost I'm so happy I'm over like the whole debauchery of how I eat. Because before I would be like, oh my God. Like when I first became a vegetarian or vegan, I was just in high school. So I just ate vegetables. Like I just gave up meat, period. I lost a lot of weight. My grandma made me come over her house and fed me meat. In her hand, like with her fingers, like she put the meat in my mouth with her fingers. Oh my God, I was like so upset. She made me come over there for like 3 days after school to eat meat, and she would not on a fork. She put it on her fingers and pushed it into my mouth, and it was pork. But yeah, she did that because she said my face looked like a soda can. And even to this day, my face still looks like a soda can. I just have to say, it's still the shape of a soda can. So anyway, after that, in college, I still was not like a big meat eater unless I cooked it myself. So then I ate a lot of beef, and I ate like Philly cheesesteaks. Oh, so good. Philly cheesesteaks are so good. Because of the seasoning salt, you see. But yeah, I ate the cheesesteaks, and I would cook them because I worked at the grill, and I still was like a main plant-based diet. Like I'm just like all about the plants. And as time went on, when I lost weight, it was just like, it was not completely plant-based. It just whatever had the lowest amount of calories. So now to be back at this point, I still like me some Chick-fil-A sometimes, even though sometimes it still got that little funny taste to it. That's why I don't like meat. It got a funny taste to it. Sometimes it's just horrible. Like it sometimes the taste is just super, super awful, especially like real beef, like a real hamburger. Just, I can't even, my body does not even process it. What else? I don't know. So it's like, I think just coming to a point. Because people think, well, healthy is like, well, it's everything you consume. But your mind got to be right about it. Because if you punish somebody, and this is why I did the video, I think I was like talking about cheese. Like if you punish the person, I love cheese. Like I went to Whole Foods, I got this cheese that has like the crystals in it. I guess it was like older. Oh my God. It's so good. Like, if you want the crystals, like you kind of want to taste the crystals in there. I was like, what is this? Like, I had to look back over it, and it's like, that's that good aged cheese. Like, it is like, so I watched the show, and they were like talking about the different levels of cheese, like how they age and stuff. So this must be some old ass cheese, and it is so fucking good. And see, it don't even sound right. It don't sound like they go together. That's some old ass cheese. But the cheese is the fucking best cheese I ever had in my life. So it's like, and I was so sick. And I had one cheese that was like a coffee kind of cheese, it was like called coffee something, and I don't know. And it was so good. So I think today is just about having like a healthy issue with the food that you eat. Even though I can say I'm vegan, because mostly if I had a chance to cook, it would be like for me, I make it completely vegan. I cook the cakes vegan. I cook anything I can make vegan, I make vegan. It's like, because I do prefer the taste. I like the taste of plants. I know my plants are like, what the hell, this bitch is gonna eat. But yeah, I will eat you. But yeah, it's like, plants taste so good. Like, I don't know, it's just like vegetables and fruits, all that stuff is so good. Okay. But for me to want cheese, and it has milk in there, and, what else? I don't know. It's like, I think I need to have a healthy situation with that, because before I would feel so bad about it. Like, I would feel so bad about consuming that type of food. And it's like, well, what really, I have not read Eat, Pray, Love, and I hope that this is the process she went through, because I don't think people really talk about the process. It's almost like, eat healthy, work out, exercise. But I do all those things, have a healthy lifestyle. And it's like, but I have them, and I'm still a thick person. And so, and I'm thick and happy, like, it's like, I'm not like, I don't have that kind of like miserable time. When I was smaller, I spent so much time at the gym and not having a life that it just, like, because the calories consume my mind. And that's why I say I was not happy. Like, I'm not saying that somebody else isn't happy doing what they doing. Like, I'm not saying it at all. It's just that for me, because I have that perfectionistic thing, which is sort of, I feel like it's my addiction. Like, everybody else, I always tell people, everybody has their addiction. Everybody does. And if I let the perfectionism take over, I get into a spiral of like it's nothing is good enough. Nothing. Like, it's time for every fucking thing to go, because nothing is good enough. It's like nothing at all could help, could fix it. So it's like, when I got to the point and I realized that's what was driving some of my mental issues and stuff, and everybody's like, well, why don't you take drugs? Why don't you take drugs? And it's like, well, no, because I always want to be a perfectionist. So it's like, I want it perfect. I want it right. Or I want to be the best at it in my own right, not out of somebody, because sometimes some people's level of satisfaction, it wasn't enough for me. It was my own level of satisfaction. It's like my own little rubric that I have in my head that I check off. Not that somebody else checks off, but that I check off. So if somebody would come and be like, well, this isn't good, it's like, no, bitch, yes, it is, because it went above and beyond what you needed, And so I had to like get a hold of it. I had to get a grasp of it, because like I said, if it didn't happen, it would just be that way. And I found this out by being by myself. So couple summers when I first got my job, my first 2 years, I would be at home by myself cleaning up, and it would be like, okay, well, that wasn't good enough. The position of that wasn't right. The closet wasn't organized enough. The clothes were not in the right order. I have too many clothes. I don't have enough clothes. I cannot wear the same thing in a month. I can't wear, and I worked at a school where I wore a uniform, right? But I would not wear the same pants or the same skirt or the same whatever in the same month. I would just, that was like so wrong for me to do. I mean, some of my rituals were so not healthy, but then some of them were healthy. Some of them worked for me, but some of them didn't. So I had to throw out what worked and what didn't work for me mentally, because that is part of what kind of like just took me over the edge, because I was trying to find this definition of what it was to change in my life like that, to be a mom, to be a mom. What is the definition of that? And I was trying to figure it out and live up to what I thought the definition of mom should be. And it did not work. It was not working. So diet was a big part of that, because up until that point, I wasn't on a strict diet, but I was just a strict eater. Like, it was like I knew what I liked and I liked it. And I stayed with it. I stuck with it. So all through pregnancy, I ate eggs. My son comes out. He can't stand the sight of them. He cannot, unless it's in a souffle. He will not eat an egg. Now, when I say these things, I'm not like, okay, well, this is exactly how it has to be. And that's what happens, because people who don't have the information, they'll be looking at what you eat, and they'll be like, didn't you say that you were a vegan? Didn't you say you were a vegetarian? Didn't you say your diet was plant-based? And it's like, or if you do that, then it's a plant, it's like, well, no, it's really just like veganism. Some days it's like hard because some things do have cheese and some things do have milk, and to not have a muffin because it was made with milk and cheese, that's a really strict diet. Like it's really strict. And so it's like you continuously think about what it is. That's why I always say vegan, vegetarian, because vegan is first. If I had a choice to make something vegan, I'm going to make it. But vegetarianism, if all we got in this house is milk, because my son, I let him have his diet now because he knows what he likes. And when he was younger, it was easier to give him a vegan vegetarian diet. Okay, it was very easy, so easy. But now that he's older and he could taste the food, he's like, no, I don't want that. I want this. This is what I want to have, and I'm okay with him having it. I'm totally okay with that, because he needs to have a chance to grow with food. Like, he has to have his own love of food too. And so to take that away from him and then have him experience it later, like, no, like, experience it now and let me see what kind of healthy and unhealthy habits you have, and then let's kind of curb them. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about how you get through the habit and different things like that. And yes, he is a kid, I know, but I am also an educator and a scientist and all this other shit that I think I am. But it's like, I just feel like that's something that he has to he has to experience food for himself. He has to. I had a chance to experience food for myself, I believe. I believe that my mom gave me a chance to experience food for myself. But my grandmother was really strict about it, because I remember I did not like beans. I hated beans, and they would make me eat the beans. So I got to the point where I would just like wrap them up in a napkin and throw them in the trash can, like, for real. So yeah, beans are not my friend. When they were not my friend. Now you can't stop me from eating a whole can of beans. Like, it's like, what's up? Making a whole pot. So I just feel like, yeah, you have to get a grasp of the healthiness of food, because during dieting, people will try to make you ashamed of what you put in your mouth. Like, I see these things where people slapping shit out of people's hand, like, don't eat that, whatever, which is, I think it's a good PSA, because some people, they not gonna get it. It's like, we have to have all views of it, because some people don't get it the same way that other people get it. Some people gotta have it slapped out of their hand and somebody else see them like, oh my God. Or some people, they just need a good talking to, like, hey, I'm worried about your health, and so we need to figure out how you go, like, what's the best way for you to be healthy? How can I help you be healthy? If that's the case, if that's what they want to do. And sometimes it's just like, again, just making a decision to get up and go do it. Like, you just get up and do it. Like, you just move around. You just do stuff. And I think my focus is just now on still having the capabilities of being able to do that workout and get through the workout and get my body right and dance and all those different things too. And it for me is healthier, because once the stress comes in, I'm just like I am a fucking mess. Like, it's just like, you just melted, bitch. Like, oh my God. So it's just, once that extra whatever comes in, I have to stay calm. Like, I just need to be calm. So yeah, food in me, I don't know, I love it. I love good food. And when I say good food, because some people might take expensive as like good food. No, I'm talking about food off the farm. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, I like the vegetables and the strawberries and the berries and, oh my God, the spaghetti squash. It's just like, and I'm in here, my eyes are getting big as I just like all that, like, And oh my god, one time I made this sauce and it was like with mint and onions and tomatoes, and it was barely cooked. Like it was just like you just supposed to like heat it up a little bit. It was so good. I like cooking too. Like I like cooking like the little gourmet stuff or whatever. But I hate when people are like, well, it's a vegetarian, you can't find anything. It do feel like that sometimes. You do have to have your alternatives, and you don't have